I'm Dr. Adler. When it comes to your heart, even the smallest choices can have a big impact. And one of the smallest, but most powerful choices you make each day, nuts. Some nuts quietly hurt your heart, others protect it like a shield. Today, I'll share the 4 nuts I always recommend and the 4 I warn my patients never to touch. They may look alike, but what they do inside your body is very, very different. Let's begin with the ones that help your heart. 1. Pistachios. Pistachios might look like just a green snack in a shell, but don't be fooled. These little nuts pack a powerful punch, especially for your heart. As we age, circulation naturally slows down. That means your blood may not move as easily through your legs, arms, or even your brain. Some people feel cold in their hands and feet. Others experience tingling, heaviness in their legs, or dizziness when standing up. Pistachios can help with all of that. They work by gently opening up your blood vessels, kind of like turning a narrow alley into a wide road. This allows blood to flow more freely and carry oxygen to every part of your body, including your heart and brain. But pistachios do even more than that. They help lower blood pressure thanks to the potassium they contain. They also help keep your blood sugar steady, which can prevent sudden crashes in energy after meals. On top of that, pistachios support bone strength with calcium and vitamin K and help protect your eyesight with 2 special nutrients called lutein and zeaxanthin. I once had a patient named Mr. Patel, age 70, who felt dizzy just walking to the mailbox. I recommended a small handful of pistachios each morning. A few weeks later, he was walking farther and steadier, and his energy was back. There's even a study that found pistachios improve bedroom performance in older men, another benefit of better blood flow. To get the most from pistachios, eat them raw or dry roasted. Avoid the ones with salt, sugar, or flavor coatings. Around 1/4 cup a day is enough. You can keep them in a jar on your counter and grab a few when you need an energy boost or a heart-friendly snack. 2. Almonds. Almonds may seem plain and simple, but they're one of the best foods you can eat for your heart, muscles, and bones, especially after age 60. These smooth little nuts are loaded with heart-healthy monounsaturated fats, the same kind found in olive oil and avocados. These fats help lower bad cholesterol, LDL, and raise good cholesterol, HDL, which reduces your risk of heart disease. Almonds are also full of magnesium, an important mineral that supports steady heartbeats, muscle movement, and nerve signals. If you ever had leg cramps at night or muscle twitches during the day, a magnesium shortage might be to blame, and almonds can help fix it. That's not all. Almonds are great for bones too. They contain both calcium and magnesium, which work together to keep bones dense and strong. That's especially helpful as bones start to thin with age. I had a patient named Mrs. Carter, age 74, who came to me with low energy, weak grip strength, and stiff legs. She wasn't eating enough healthy fats or magnesium. I told her to add a handful of almonds to her breakfast every day. A month later, she felt stronger, had fewer cramps, and even said she was sleeping better. Almonds also help prevent osteoporosis, support memory and brain function, balance blood sugar, and calm the nervous system. Plus, they're filling. That means you're less likely to reach for junk food or overeat later. Even though almonds are high in fat, they are the good kind, and they actually help with weight control when eaten in small portions. The best way to eat almonds is raw or dry roasted with no added salt or sugar. Stay away from the candy or flavored varieties. You can toss almonds into oatmeal, yogurt, or salads, or just eat a small handful on their own. One serving is about 23 almonds. Easy to count and perfect for your heart. 3. Walnuts. Walnuts may look like tiny brains, and that's actually a great clue to what they do. These amazing nuts are one of the best foods you can eat for your brain and body, especially as you get older. Walnuts are packed with ALA, a special kind of plant-based omega-3 fat. This fat is great for the brain. It helps keep your memory sharp, your thinking clear, and your mood steady. ALA may also help lower the risk of memory loss and dementia, which is why I often recommend walnuts to older patients who want to protect their minds. But the benefits of walnuts go beyond the brain. They also help improve your circulation. That means your blood moves better through your body. Good blood flow keeps your muscles strong, your balance steady, and your energy up throughout the day. In fact, one study found that just a quarter cup of walnuts each week help older adults stay more mobile and active. Walnuts even contain melatonin, a natural sleep helper that can make it easier to fall asleep at night and rest well. And when we sleep better, our health improves all around. Inside one small handful of walnuts, about 1 ounce, you'll find 2.5 grams of ALA, 4 grams of protein, 2 grams of fiber, and important minerals like copper, manganese, and magnesium. These nutrients help your body produce energy, keep your bones strong, and send healthy signal between your nerves and muscles. Walnuts also help lower bad cholesterol, LDL, reduce blood pressure, and calm inflammation, all of which are big causes of heart disease. They've even been shown to help reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, which is closely tied to heart health. If you want to add walnuts to your diet, go for raw or dry roasted ones with no salt or sugar added. You can chop them up and mix them into oatmeal, sprinkle them on yogurt or salads, or just eat them by the handful. One serving is about 14 walnut halves. They're simple, tasty, and one of the best things you can eat for your heart and brain. 4. Pine nuts. Pine nut may be small, but they bring big heart benefit to the table. You might have tasted them in pesto, that green garlicky sauce made with basil and olive oil. But even by themselves, pine nuts are full of nutrients that older adults need. They are especially rich in monounsaturated fats, the same healthy fat found in avocados and olive oil. These fats help lower bad cholesterol and raise good cholesterol, which is exactly what your heart needs to stay healthy. Pine nuts also contain magnesium and vitamin E, both of which protect your blood vessels and help reduce the risk of heart disease. One thing that makes pine nuts really special is their natural content of plant sterols. These plant compounds help block cholesterol from entering the bloodstream. That means lower LDL, bad cholesterol, and a lower chance of clogged arteries. Pine nuts are also full of antioxidants like vitamin E and zinc. These protect your cells from damage, help fight aging, and may even protect your memory and thinking. Studies show that eating nuts, including pine nuts, as part of the MIND diet can reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease by up to 35%. Another reason I recommend pine nuts is because they're filling. A quarter cup, about 330 little C's, has around 380 calories, but these calories come with healthy fats, fiber, and protein. They keep you feeling full longer and help you avoid junk food. Some studies even show that pine nuts are linked to lower belly fat and better weight control, which also helps reduce your heart risk. Pine nuts have been eaten for thousands of years. They were even mentioned in the Bible. They are harder to harvest and may cost a little more, but they're worth every penny. To enjoy them, you can lightly toast them in a pan until they're golden and fragrant. They taste great on top of salads and in pasta, or stir into soups. You can also use them in homemade pesto or mix them into trail mix for an easy snack. Just remember, a small handful is enough to give you all those heart-healthy benefits without overdoing it. Both walnuts and pine nuts are simple foods that can make a big difference in how you feel every day. They protect your heart, sharpen your mind, and keep your body moving strong. That's why I always tell my patients, never underestimate the power of a tiny nut. Nuts dangerous for health. 1. Macadamia. Nuts. Macadamia nuts come from Australia, and they've got a smooth, buttery flavor that melts in your mouth. Long ago, Aboriginal people even used them as money, but today they've become a sneaky snack that may be doing more harm than good, especially for your heart. Now, some folks will tell you macadamia nuts are full of good fats. That's true. They have monounsaturated fat, which is also found in olive oil. But the problem? Macadamias are packed with too much fat. Just 1 ounce has more than 21 grams of fat and over 200 calories, and very little protein to balance it out. That makes it way too easy for them to overeat. I've seen patients who think they're making a smart choice, snacking on macadamia nuts all day, then gaining weight, raising their cholesterol, and wondering why they feel tired and sluggish. Even though some small studies suggest macadamia nuts can lower bad cholesterol, the effect is mild and often outweighed by the fact that these nuts are so high in calories. Over time, eating too many of them can lead to weight gain, belly fat, and higher blood pressure, all of which are hard on your heart. And there's another problem. Most of the macadamia nuts you'll find in stores are salted, roasted in oil, or mixed into sweet treats like white chocolate cookies or brittle. That adds even more fat, sugar, and sodium, turning a small snack into a heart hazard. And let me tell you about one of my patients, Mr. Henry, age 68. He came in with borderline high cholesterol. He told me he'd replace potato chip with healthy nuts, mostly macadamias, but when we added up his daily snacks, he was eating over 700 calories just from nuts. We switched him to almonds and pistachios and cut the macadamias completely, and 3 months later, his cholesterol dropped and his energy came back. Bottom line, macadamia nuts are not heart-friendly for most older adults. If you're trying to protect your heart, skip them. 2. Pecans. Next up, pecans. These soft, rich nuts are famous for pies, cakes, and glazed holiday snacks, but even plain pecans come with serious risks for your heart, especially when eaten often. Like macadamias, pecans are very high in fat, about 21 grams per ounce. They're also high in calories, low in protein, and don't fill you up, as well as other nuts. That means it's easy to eat too many without even realizing it. Now, some studies do show pecan can lower bad cholesterol, but again, the difference is small. What worries me most is how pecans are usually served. Most people eat them as candied pecan, honey roasted, or in desserts loaded with sugar and butter. That turns a mild nut into a blood sugar bomb, and that's bad news for your heart. Sugar raises inflammation, damages arteries, and increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. That's why I always ask patients not just what they're eating, but how it's prepared. Even plain roasted pecans can be tricky. They don't offer the same heart-protecting omega-3 fats as walnuts. They don't have the same fiber punch as almonds, and they don't help circulation the way pistachios do. They're also often paired with other dangerous foods like syrupy glazes, pie crusts, or cheese-covered salads. This can quickly overload your body with sugar, sodium, and saturated fat. Let me give you a quick example. One of my longtime patients, Mrs. Lewis, age 72, came in after gaining 12 pounds in 6 months. She wasn't eating fast food, but every night she had a small bowl of candied pecan as a treat. That small treat added up to hundreds of extra calories and a spike in blood sugar. We replaced her pecans with unsalted walnuts and fresh berries, and her weight and blood sugar went back to normal. My advice is, if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart issues, skip the pecans. There are better, safer nuts out there for your heart. 3. Peanuts. Peanuts are in just about everything. Candy bars, trail mix, peanut butter, and snack bowls at parties. Many people think they're heart healthy, but the truth is peanut can quietly weaken your body and your heart, especially as you age. Here's something surprising. Peanuts aren't even real nuts. They're legumes, like beans, and that means they grow underground. where they can easily grow a harmful toxin called aflatoxin. This toxin can damage your liver over time and may increase the risk of liver cancer. It's invisible, has no smell, and builds up slowly. Peanuts are also very high in omega-6 fats. While your body needs a little omega-6, too much causes inflammation, which damages your blood vessel and raises your risk of heart attacks, strokes, and joint pain. For older adults who already struggle with mobility, this kind of inflammation makes it harder to stay active and steady on your feet. There's another danger: vitamin K. Peanuts contain a good amount of it. That sounds nice, but if you're on blood thinner, it can interfere with your medication. I've had patients on warfarin or similar drugs suddenly end up with clotting issues, all because of daily peanut snacks. And what about peanut butter? Most store-bought kinds are loaded with hydrogenated oils, sugar, and salt, a triple threat. These ingredients raise your blood pressure, your weight, and your heart risk. Let me tell you about Mr. Daniels, a 73-year-old patient of mine. He ate peanut butter toast every morning thinking it was healthy, but his blood pressure kept rising and his liver numbers looked off. We switched him to almond butter and added pistachio instead. 2 months later, his pressure dropped and he felt better overall. So, avoid peanuts and peanut butter if you're over 60, especially if you're dealing with inflammation, blood pressure, or blood thinner medications. 4. Cashews. Cashews are creamy, crunchy, and easy to love. You'll find them in trail mix, stir fry, curries, vegan cream sauces, and even fancy desserts. But as a doctor, I often tell my older patients to be very careful with cashews. They may look harmless, but inside that buttery nut are real risks for your heart, bones, and kidneys, especially if you're over 60. Let's start with one of the biggest concerns, oxalates. Cashews are packed with these natural compounds that bind to calcium in your body and carry it out. That might sound simple, but in seniors, calcium is crucial. If you're losing calcium every day, your bones grow weaker, your risk of fractures goes up, and your balance becomes more fragile. That's why I call cashews a calcium thief. I had a patient, Mrs. Elaine, 76, who broke bones 3 times in 1 year. After checking her diet, I found she was adding cashews to her morning oatmeal. We swapped them out for calcium-rich, low-oxalate foods like almonds and spinach. Within months, her bone scans improved and the fracture stopped. But cashews don't stop at bone problems. They're also high in carbohydrates, more than most nuts. That's dangerous if you have diabetes or prediabetes because carbs spike your blood sugar. When your blood sugar rises too fast, it damages blood vessels. That can lead to heart disease, nerve problems, poor circulation, and even amputations in extreme cases. Cashews are also dangerous for your kidneys. Those same oxalates that steal calcium can form kidney stones in people who are sensitive. These stones are painful, hard to pass, and can cause lasting kidney damage if not treated quickly. And let's not forget the choking hazard. Cashews are dense and sticky. For older adults with dentures or reduced chewing strength, they're a real risk. I've seen patients land in the ER after choking on just a few pieces. Now, to be fair, cashews do contain healthy nutrients. They have copper, magnesium, vitamin K, protein, and even eye-friendly antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin. But if your heart, blood sugar, or bones are already at risk, the cons far outweigh the pros. Worse still, most cashews on the market are salted, roasted in cheap oils, or flavored. These versions are the most harmful. The added salt increases blood pressure. The oils cause hidden inflammation. That's why your joints may ache after snacking, or your energy may crash mid-morning. If you still want to eat cashews, only choose raw, unsalted ones. Keep portions small, no more than a small handful, and eat them only once in a while, not every day. For most older adults, I recommend safer options like almonds or walnuts. They protect your heart and bones without stealing your strength. Cashews may look like a treat, but for aging bodies, they're often trouble in disguise. Outro. After 65, every nut counts. Some heal your heart, others hurt it quietly. Now you know which 4 to love and which 4 to leave. Stick to the clean ones. Raw, unsalted, and simple is best. So, are you eating one of the heart-healthy nuts or one of the risky ones? Tell us in the comments. If this helps, like, subscribe, and share. More doctor-backed tips for your heart and health are coming soon.